My relationship with my husband before cancer was extremely physical. We're both very touchy-feely, cuddly, kissy. We had sex regularly. Once I started my chemo regimens and my hormone therapies, it became something that I don't even think about. The biggest change with my treatment and my sexuality, I've realized that I've become asexual. I feel no attraction to anyone, male or female, and I used to identify as bisexual. And there's nothing wrong with being asexual, but moving from somebody that was in a very physically fulfilling, happy relationship and marriage to someone that's asexual and still in that relationship, it's extremely difficult. The sexual side effects I've noticed from my own particular treatments are, first, a genuine disappearance of libido. I've also felt a deep depression and anxiety over my current appearance. I did not decide to do reconstruction, and so getting used to being flat-chested on one side has been an extremely difficult journey, but one that I refuse to back down from. When I was first diagnosed, the doctors did not talk to me at all about libido. They were overly concerned that I was a 32-year-old woman who'd never had children. So the fact that all this focus was put on my fertility rather than my quality of life and my relationship with my husband and the relationship I have with my own body was really disheartening. It's a side effect that doctors aren't comfortable talking about, or they don't think to talk about because they're too busy saving the person's life. And while I understand that, there's also a quality of life that needs to be brought into account. So I did bring it up with a couple doctors, and they weren't willing to do anything for me. I'd even done my own research on a low hormone estrogen cream that I could use that would help facilitate intercourse, but none of my oncologists would prescribe it. I eventually got my family practitioner to prescribe it because I told him that it was it was very important to me to be able to have a physical relationship with my husband. But I tried it once, and then I had an emotional breakdown, and my husband told me that he didn't care if we had a physical relationship or not. He'd rather have me around as his best friend than have a physical relationship with me. If the doctor had just told me, these are the side effects, this is going to happen, this is not something that we are prepared to help you with, or this isn't something that we can just wave a wand and magically fix, like with a nausea pill, it would have made a huge emotional and mental difference, even if it hadn't have made a physical difference. I would have felt like it wasn't my fault. It wasn't until a group of other women that had had breast cancer finally started talking about it and said, you know what, I'm having these problems. And I was like, wow, I'm not alone. I'm not the only woman out there on these pills that is feeling the same way. I am, however, one of few women I feel who have a husband as remarkable as my own and has supported me through everything. My view on sex and sexuality has changed since my treatment because I no longer put so much weight on them as important to have a loving and fulfilling relationship. I am missing the physical aspects of my relationship with my husband, but we're still best friends. And I feel very, very grateful to be married to my best friend. I just want to note that it's been extremely important to me to have women with breast cancer who are friends, who are willing and open to talk about this. Even if it's just a gripe session or I no longer feel this way and it makes me feel X, Y, and Z. Getting those emotions out has been extremely helpful and impactful and really guided me towards finding my own truth and being less ashamed and less afraid to talk about my sexuality and the side effects of my cancer treatments. So we need to be there for each other. we all know that there are some really horrible things happening to our bodies every day, and sexual side effects are one of them. So let's be open, at least with ourselves and with each other. That way we can be open with our doctors and the people that are in our lives as well.